as Will mentioned, where you're using the sitemap and your skill, your source of truth. You know, every article follows the exact same outline. So let's say we have an intro, we have a key takeaways, 3 sections, a conclusion, FAQ. If every single article follows that exact, you're probably going to get punished. The reason why AI generated, but with human in the loop, does not get penalized is because let's say that we're writing for a client and one of the posts is a report. That's going to be 7, 8K words. It's going to be very data heavy. It's going to have a lot of statistics, going to have all these external links. But then the next post is one of these best listicles. It's much shorter. It's a completely different outline, completely different tone of voice. LLMs, Google is not stupid. They say, okay, this is a real content strategy. But if Catalyst has posted the exact same outline, the exact same thing every single day, they're not stupid. You're going to get punished.
I think defining what we mean when we say like AI generated, because there's different versions of it. There are some people that go into ChatGPT and just say like, write me an article on best CRMs.
Yep.
There's no research. There's no original input source. There's no data, like, right? It's just going to pull generic content.
Exactly.
And now that everyone can do that, that's the baseline. That's kind of back to what Austin was saying at the beginning, is like that answer probably won't even cite a specific resource because it's what AI knows already. Where you actually start to show up and start to rank is when you're providing a perspective or an opinion that isn't, AI doesn't have an opinion. And so, it depends on how you're building it. Now, even if you have, interviews and quotes and data and all this original proprietary information, can you run that through and just say, using all of that material, create an article? Yes, you can, and that will rank better than option A, but it still won't rank better than option C, who is using all of that input source already and still putting that human touch on it. And so it's not a black or white. It's just how you actually get cited. Yep. We saw, a couple of years ago when ChatGPT first came out, people get a little too excited about the ability to just mass produce content.
Yep.
And for a while, their SEO rankings were dramatically increasing because Google hadn't really figured it out yet. But now we've seen all of that traffic kind of claw back, or most of it.
Yep.
And so, there's still a quality to quantity, threshold that you need to find the sweet spot. There's definitely an expectation of producing more, and you want to be producing more, but it still has to be of that quality. The route we take is just using AI to produce a really, 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 really high quality brief, and then having a human spend, a tenth of the time writing it because all the information's laid out there. But it's still, you still get those irregularities, and you kind of break up a traditional pattern by having a human write it.
Yep, 100%.
And I think the challenging with all of this is there's like no right way. There are best practices, but it's not black and white, and there's ways to do it better. But it really comes down to focusing in on, what are those original inputs that you can provide. Awesome. Well,